Hey, what's up guys? I'm Trent Wel-Don with Wel-Don Aquatics. Welcome back to the channel. And unfortunately tonight, it is not a clickbait title. This is 100% not clickbait. I killed some of my fish. This was supposed to be kind of this was really supposed to be like a good video. Like, hey, look what I did. I figured something out. I made my area better. So what started with really good intentions just ended poorly. It did not have the end results that I wanted to do. Yeah, I lost. All right, so we gotta go. Let's rewind a little bit, right? So I had my fish auction. We did that video. A lot of fun with that. You saw the fish that I brought home. And then I decided to kind of redo the area that I was using in our washroom that held my fish tanks. I decided to put a stand in there. And the ultimate goal with this stand was to get the 55-gallon up off the floor. And then I could put tanks underneath the 55-gallon to kind of utilize the space better, but also give more of that space back to my wife, who's been very generous on letting me use that space. But I have to say too, like, this is one of those situations that isn't as necessary. Like, it isn't near as bad as when my 220-gallon tank exploded and flooded my basement. But this is kind of up in that realm of like, my wife should have killed me, and she didn't. She was very supportive actually, and helped me get through this. All right, so we did the fish auction, got those fish home, and then I decided to build this stand, right? And then as I ran it, like one last trip to Home Depot after I got my daughter down to bed, run home, and I had an idea like, oh, I'm going to rebuild the stand kind of to make it more functional for what I need, and then we'll get started on the project. Well, of course, I decided to do this project at like 9:30 at night. My daughter had just gone to bed, and my wife told me, she's like, if you wake up the baby, you've got to be done for the night. Yeah, okay. Like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to wake her up. I've done this before. Like, I've done water changes before with no issue. Like, I have had no problems with this. Well, I wasn't necessarily doing water changes, but I was moving a new stand in. I was changing out air pumps and moving fish and moving tanks. And lo and behold, I wake my daughter up at like 11 o'clock, and I'm at a point of no return. All my fish are in buckets. I'm moving tanks. So it kind of like one thing led to another, that just went terribly wrong. But then there's a few things that all of a sudden like just worked out in such my favor that I probably would have lost my mind had they not. So I lost my 5 Cypicromis. Unfortunately, I lost those the other night. I lost my Epistogramma pair. And then I lost 5 out of the 6 Palladius Cory cats. And those are the ones that I'm really confused on. Is that when I was moving fish out of tanks, I was like counting fish, everything I had, and I only found 1 Cory. And I already have other Corys in that tank. So I'm really confused on those. I'm really bummed about those though. Like, I really like those Cory cats. So I'm hopefully going to track down more. But the Cypicromis and the Epistogramma pair were 100% my fault. And it sucks. Like, it sucks that I killed my fish. So there's kind of the brief history of how this happened. Now let's actually go look. I want to go show you the fish, my washroom where I'm keeping my fish tanks, what I did, what I built, and give you a further explanation of like just what went so wrong, but also what went into my favor. So let's go take a look. All right, so here's what I'm working with, and like I say, some things worked out in my favor. Other things just were a freaking disaster. So let me kind of give you the rundown. So we used to have the 55-gallon on the floor here, the 20-gallon right here, and that was the 2 tanks I had in here. So like I say, the ultimate goal was to get everything up on this wall, kind of give my wife back, more of her area. I mean, I'm even using this area for my microworm cultures. Anyways, so I suck at math. And you think of all the times I've built so many stands, you think by now I would have figured out to remember to measure, 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 and remeasure, but I always forget that, hey, when you turn a 2x4 on its side, that adds height. So what my goal was is I bought a 29-gallon tank at the Petco dollar per gallon sale, and the ultimate goal is to turn that one on a regular side, have that slide in underneath here, and then put two 10-gallon tanks next to it. Well, I already had 20 gallons, so I figured out that, hey, I could do the 30 or the 29 and possibly two 20s. Well, then as I got the stand up here, got the 55 up top, I slid the 29 in. Like I say, I forgot. I keep forgetting that adds 3 inches of height, or like 3.5 inches of height. So this barely slid in here. But I got it supported on all the way. So I just kind of made a redesign. Well, that's where the goldfish are. And we still need to do a full dedicated video on this. We absolutely do. I also have the Synodontis catfish in there. And then right here I have my alien betta pair. And these guys are just in a breeder box right now. I have their tank here. I need to get that set up. And that was the other reasoning for doing this, is I wanted more room to kind of get the next tank going. So then in this 20, I put my wild betta, the ocelota pair. Then over here I have my guppies that I bought at the auction. So it just, all right. So, geez, I'm scatterbrained tonight. So the whole idea of this is I wanted to use all of the USB Nano Air Pumps from Aquarium Co-op. And like I say, this needed to be quiet. So I wanted to really quiet this area down. And that's why I built this just out of 1/2-inch PVC pipe, just so I could run it along, run zip ties, hang air pumps off of it. I have 3 right here, you know. One's going to the 55 and the other 2 are powering the 29, and then the other 2 down here for the 20s are actually tucked up underneath here. That's one reason why I have the water level so low. So I'm got more airline coming, and I'm gonna hang all the air pumps up here. So like that portion of it just worked out beautifully in my favor, because who knew? From this end of the wall, more so the baseboard, to right here was just gonna line up perfectly. I couldn't have done that even if I tried, right? The door just closes perfectly. So I can't believe that actually worked out in my favor. So to move everything out, took all the fish out, right? I took all the fish out, put them in buckets. Well, the issue is my orange fin hillstream trout, they like to jump. So I had fish jumping out of buckets, other fish jumping out of buckets. So without even thinking about it, I tossed towels over the buckets. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, this is only going to be for 20 minutes. Move tanks in, put them up, fill them up with water, get the fish right back in. I lost track of time, wasn't paying attention. They were in the buckets for like an hour and a half with towels over them. So no air exchange, no oxygen exchange, no gas exchange. And I didn't think about setting up air pumps with air stones to kind of keep things moving, because it just, again, this was only supposed to take a few minutes. But then, the problem after problem after problem arose. I was going to hang up a big power bar underneath here, but that blocked the 29 from sliding all the way in. So I had to go find this power bar, get this hooked up, get all the pumps run to it. So I need to mount that up underneath still, so it's out of the way. And like I said, everything just kind of kept compounding on top of each other. So finally, when I was ready to move fish out of the buckets, the Cyphochromis died, the Apistogramma pairs died. I already explained about the Cories. So I killed my fish. And when I saw that the Cyphochromis were dead, I panicked. I panicked hardcore, primarily about my Mabu puffer. Right? I wanted to know how he was doing. So I immediately got tanks back up together, got all the sponge filters in, got everything running, got the dechlorinator in, and I just immediately just started moving fish back in, And once I got everybody back in the tanks, I didn't have any issues. Like, there's no issues once I got fish back in the tanks. One big thing I have been using is once I got them in there, I added some aquarium salt. I really like this Fritz Salt. I don't dose high amounts. I actually probably do less than the recommended amounts. But the guppies really like the minerals that come out of it, so that helped them. The bed has sprung back once I put it in there. The goldfish honestly never really showed signs of issues, but the Synodontis did. So I'm really happy that these guys made it. That's kind of an awkward pairing, but like I'm so limited that I kind of had to shuffle fish where I needed to. So the Synodontis may move over here with the guppies. They actually may go back up in the 55, not 100% sure yet. But I mean, everybody made it. Well, not everybody. So yeah, there you have it. There's my good intentions to get this out of the way, ended in complete disaster. It was a very late night. Bless my wife. Bless my wife. I didn't flood anything. I didn't ruin anything. I just killed my fish. Fish that I had just bought a few days ago at the auction. So it sucks. It really sucks. Yeah. But the fish that I do have are doing well. This guy's hungry. He hasn't eaten today. I've actually had him for over a year now, and he is getting big. So super excited to get him back into the 220. Do a lot of water changes right now. So everything, it's getting better. Like, it's going to get better. We're already starting to work on the basement. But I hate losing fish, and I hate losing fish when it's my fault. That's the thing that really bugs me, is like, I 100% should have avoided that. But I didn't. But if he'll come back in camera, Francis, you can see his tail. He's still with us. Alien bettas are doing good. The guy's beautiful as ever. There's the female. And like, honestly, I haven't had any issue with them being together. They've been fine. And I got a bunch of tannins in here for the ocelota pair. Jeez, the glare's so bad right now. Anyways, so yeah, there we have it. I've already talked to a few people about this. They kind of know the disaster of it, but I don't share this for like the pity, poor me. I mean, yeah, I made a mistake, right? Like, I legit made a mistake. So I guess from my mistake, if you ever move your fish into buckets, get an air pump in there, get an air stone in there. Don't keep them in there terribly long. Plan it out, be smart about it. But new things are coming. I think I'm going to try and track down some of the Platus cories again. I'm done with the Pistogrammas. I've had such poor luck with them. Cyphochromis, I want some again. But like I say, the Mabu puffer made it. Everybody's like, it's fine, right? And this is functional for what it needs to be. I still have access for water changes. The electrical's safe-ish. I say as soon as I get that mounted up underneath, it'll be fine. It's just everyone's been sick in my house this week, so again, bless my wife. I did this when she was sick, and she took care of the baby while she was sick, and now the baby's sick, and I'm getting sick, and yeah, it was a hell of a night. So I'm late getting this out, but here it is. Here's the update. Here's my magical idea. So if you're using the USB Nano Air Pumps, like I said, I had just cheap PVC pipe zip ties are my friend, and hung them, and man, they're powerful little pumps. But here's an interesting comparison. So these are all sponge filters, a new aquarium co-op sponge filter. This one has an air stone in the middle of it. This one does not. And you can see the difference in the bubbles. This one's actually quieter than this one. And this one's struggling because this air pump is dying. I may or may not have dropped this in the water. Oops. But that's not what you're here for. So there it is. I'm gonna get off now. I'm rambling. So thank you guys for the support, for watching this. We have better things to come. Things are gonna get better. Like, things are getting better. And I'm super excited as kind of the new year rolls in, as we're gonna get the new fish room built, fish into big tanks. I already have all the tanks, so it's not like I don't have tanks for them, but we're getting there. So guys, thank you again for watching. Thank you for the support, and we will talk to you guys in the next one.